What's up, y'all? It's Kamikaze MMA coming back for another video. We're talking about this Vancouver card, which was really good. The commentary was really good. Sorry for the late. I couldn't sleep last night. I was trying since the card ended. I just couldn't sleep. Let's get right into it. Melissa Croden versus Tainara Lisboa. Melissa Croden won. I saw the ending, but I didn't see the rest of the fight. Good win by Melissa Croden. Moving up, Azmat Bakoev versus Yursi Belgarui. I chose Yusri, and boy was I right. Boy was I right. I don't know why I picked him, but I did pick him, and so yeah, let's get it. We're good. We're good. Moving on. Well, let me break it down. All right. Sorry. Azmat Bakoev could not get into range. When he did sting Yusri pretty bad. His grappling was pretty good, but Yusri's takedown defense was better. And the fight was essentially just Yusri tagging him up with a jab. And then he smelled blood in the water and he finished him in the third. Really good fight. Really good showing for Yusri. Balgaurui. Stephanie Luciano versus Ravina Oliveira. Pretty good fight. Ravina Oliveira didn't look like she trained a day in her life, but it looked like she could fight. Stephanie Luciano looked very well trained. So she was clearly going to get the win since the bell opened. It was clear that she got this win. Good submission in the third. Taps her out with a rear naked, if I'm not mistaken. Moving up the card, Danny Barlow versus Jordan Santos. I think Danny Barlow won that fight. I think Jordan Santos was landing more strikes. I do agree with the stats on that. I do. Danny Barlow's looked like they hurt him more. In the first and second round, the third was close. Maybe I don't know. I thought it was Danny Barlow, but it was close, so I'm not too hung up on it. Bruno Silva versus Park Young-sung. I think Danny Barlow's career might just be over, though. It's sad. I was actually really high on Danny Barlow when he came from the Contender Series. I was like, this dude's going to be close to a champ. He has not won a fight in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. He went to decision with Nikolai Varentenikov, which is terrible. I mean, he won it, but going to decision with him is terrible. You got to finish that dude if you want to be anything. So, it is what it is. Bruno Silva, back knee maxing. This dude is on everything. He's on everything. How are you this juiced up and allowed to be fighting in the UFC? I can't wait for this fight to be a no contest. Park Young-sung looked terrible. He looked terrible. But in the third round, I thought we were going to see a vintage Bruno Silva performance. I thought Bruno Silva was just going to crumble. He always crumbles in the third round, but apparently, now that he has back knee, he won't. He won't crumble in the third round now that he has back knee. Wow. What a revelation. Just get back knee and you will suddenly stop crumbling in the third round if you just gain back knee. It was a pretty good performance from Bruno Silva, though. I mean, he looks good in almost all of his fights. He just always crumbles in the third round, but now that he has back knee, he apparently doesn't, which it looked like he was about to. Anyways, Ori Quilling, another crafty pick. I picked how many fights did I get right? 0 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 2, 2 for 3, 2 for 4, 2 for 5, 3 for 6, 4 for 7, 4 for 8, 4 for 9, 4 for 10, 5 for 11, 5 for 12, and 5 for 13. Whoo! Some bad predictions. Damn. But I did get Ori Quilling. Crafty underdog pick. I picked him by decision. He goes out there and knocks out Cody Gibson with the first punch in 21 seconds. Not much to talk about. Kyle Prepolek versus Drew Dober. I mean, Ori Quilling is like 33. He's 32 years old. This dude could be an issue. If he gets to the championship within 3 years, he could be an issue, all right? By issue, I mean have the belt once. He could. Dude, who does that to Cody Gibson? Dude, who goes out there and starches Cody Gibson? Has anyone done that in the history of MMA? Dude, no one has gone out there and starched Cody Gibson like that. Cody Gibson is 45 years old, so maybe that's why. But yeah, I mean, really good win from Ori Quilling. Moving up. Kyle Prepolek versus Drew Dober. Okay. So, Kyle Prepolek was somehow winning this fight, in my opinion. I could definitely see him winning the first 2 rounds. Third round comes out, gets nut shotted immediately. Terrible nut shot. Kyle Prepolek's about to die. The fight continues. And Drew Dober finishes him within a minute. I will get to Amin Zahabi because I do think Amin Zahabi clearly won that fight. But why? Okay, let me just get there, okay? Moving on. Kyle Nelson versus Matt Frevola. Yeah, Matt Frevola got finished. They stopped the fight with 3 seconds left in the first round. And then the fight starts again. Never seen that before. I don't really care either way. I wasn't too upset by it. Kyle Nelson, great performance. Should have gotten the first round finish, but I'm not too upset about it. Really good performance, though. Out-grappled, out-struck, out-clenched, out-everything Matt Frevola. So, really good performance from Kyle Nelson, actually. It was, like, kind of crazy, but... Anyways, Charles Jourdain versus Davy Grant. This one was sad. I was rooting for Davy Grant. I think we were all rooting for Davy Grant on this one, but we don't get to see a Davy Grant, masterclass. He's putting it on there for a second. He got flying knee to the face and ate it. And I was like, dude, this dude's the real deal. And then he got flying knee about a minute later and got KO'd. And then got submitted. Because, let's be real. That was a crazy flying knee. There was like 3 or 4 good follow-up shots. And Davy Grant almost got a takedown on Charles Jourdain after that. Just saying. Charles Jourdain's guillotines are nasty, though. He might be the only modern-era fighter to be able to finish a guillotine. So, yeah, really good performance from Jourdain, though. He's probably a killer at bantamweight. He's probably going to kill most outside the top 10 bantamweights. He's going to kill everyone outside the top 10, I think. Manon Fior. Why is that her name? Why do they pronounce it Fior? Manon Fior? Why do they pronounce it like that? That's crazy. She's French, not German. Okay, her name is Fiorot. Manon Fior might be one of the fastest women KOs I've ever seen against a really good, dangerous opponent. Shocking. Now, what I'll say is, when Jasmine got rocked, I was like, what the fuck? What am I watching? Is this shoot. They don't want me to talk about that. I was just saying, I was like, is this WMMA? Are we sure? Are we sure Fuhrer isn't a man? Man on Fuhrer? Come on. Jasmine's jelly-legging around the octagon. Does not know where she is. Gets hit with another shot, dropped. 4 to 5 or 4 to 10 shots just straight to the side of her head. And Dan Mergliotta stops it, if I'm not mistaken. And Jasmine's complaining. Whenever I see, there's some times where it is actually like you should be complaining about the stoppage. That was a great stoppage by the ref. Whenever I see fighters complaining about that, I'm like, dude, did you just want to go out cold? Like what were you wanting? I get it. You go, yo, I could have won that. But no, you were already finished. You already finished, my boy. I mean, my girl. I'm talking to because I don't think Jasmine's a man. Moving up, Marlon Vera. I mean, good performance for Manon Fuhrer. I didn't think she was going to get it done, to be honest. Marlon Vera versus Ayman Zahabi. All right, this is where I'm going to get neutered. All right. I think round 1 and round 2 are clear rounds for round 1 Zahabi, round 2 Marlon Vera. Clear cut. You cannot say Marlon Vera won the first round. If you want to say body language, cool. Then we have to say that Ayman Zahabi won the second. Because in the second, the person who had the worst body language was Marlon Vera in the last minute. Ayman Zahabi had pretty bad body language for the rest of the second round. But that last minute, that is the only time I've ever seen fear in Chito Vera's face. Or Marlon Vera's face. Chito's face. Why is this dude's nickname Cheeto? For some reason, I feel like I kind of just figured out that his name is actually Marlon. He just isn't he doesn't look like a Marlin. He looks like a Cheeto, bro. Anyways. Okay, let me break it down for you. First round, right? Ayman Zahabi is winning the exchanges by landing shots. Marlon Vera landed maybe 3 to 6 shots in the first round. Clean. Maybe. Ayman Zahabi landed probably 20 plus shots in the first round clean. Like, clean shots. That's what it's not who's a marauder. That's not what the scoring is based on clean, damaging shots. And guess what? Ayman Zahabi got better, clean, damaging shots in the first and the third. He just did. Marlon Vera wins the second. He lands 3 shots in the second round. He lands the jab that drops Ayman Zahabi. He lands a body shot after he landed that. And he lands a pretty good head kick. Besides that, he didn't land nothing clean. He was landing everything on the guard. Everything was either on the guard or short. It just was. And so, dude, you could even give the second round to Zahabi. I'm joking, obviously. I will say, though, this might have been the weirdest energy of a fight I've ever watched in my life. I don't know if anyone else was getting this, but the way that Ayman Zahabi looked and the way that Chito Vera looked before the last minute of the second round, I've never seen a fighter look more intimidating and another fighter look like the least intimidating person. Ayman Zahabi looked terrible in this fight. I can't express that enough. He looked like injured gazelle the entire fight. But I think he won because he was landing clean shots. Body language wise, yes, 100%. He looked like an injured gazelle. And Marlon Vera looked like Dexter Morgan. He looked like he was trying to kill him. And Ayman Zahabi looked like he was like, I don't know what to do. And then they would land clean. It's like he would throw the most wild left hook. And Marlon Vera would just drop his hand. He would just be like, oh, I guess I'll get hit by this left hook. Weird fight. Really weird. The third round was very close. I watched this fight back right before I made this video. The third round was incredibly close. Marlon Vera could have won that on damage. He could have. Ayman Zahabi was landing more strikes, cleaner strikes. It's just the way it is. He could have gotten hurt in the last, 5 seconds, but I don't really think he did, so I'm not going to say that it's a robbery. I think he clearly won that fight. I think it was insanely close, but it was a clear Zahabi win. Moving up to Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott. Mike Malott. Okay, Kevin Holland goes out there, knocks down Mike Malott, I believe in the first round. There's no knockdown scored for Kevin Holland. This is the sport we watch. There's no knockdown scored for Kevin Holland. Almost finishes Mike Malott via knockdown. No knockdown for Kevin Holland. That's really good. Then the second round comes along. No, I think he dropped him in the second round, right? I don't know. Dude, this fight was the worst fight I think I've ever seen in my life. I literally have never wanted to watch a fight. There's no way I'm ever going to rewatch this. I'd rather watch Carlos Esparza versus Rose Namajunas than this fight. Honestly, this was the worst fight I think I've ever seen in my life. Kevin Holland takes a 5.5-minute break for a shot that landed on his hip. After knocking down someone, which they didn't count for some reason. And then the rest of the fight, he just complains about the nut shot and does nothing to win. Cut him. Cut him. Cut him from the sport. I'm so tired of this dude being like, yeah, I'm just too cool for it, bro. I'm just too cool. I'm too cool, dude. No, you're not. You got fucking knee to the hip. And you took 5.5 minutes out of my fucking night to just complain about a nut shot. Well, not looking like you got hit by a nut shot at all. Worse acting than Aljamain Sterling. Because he didn't even get hit by a shot. I can't even talk about this fight anymore. That fight made me so mad. But it's whatever. The main event was honestly fun. I did not mind it. I did not think it was anticlimactic. I thought that the way it ended was the perfect way to end that fight. It was the perfect way to end the fight. How are middleweights real? How are middleweights real? How are they real? How does it go middleweights being the goofiest, unskilled people ever? The good ones are unskilled. The bad ones are skilled in middleweight. Then you go light heavyweight where it's like one of the most, it's pretty stacked high, but it's a skilled division comparatively to middleweight. It's a skilled division. And then you have heavyweight who no one has trained a day in their life except for Tom Aspinall. No one. But middleweight, you could tell these people train, but they're just, they don't work in the same way every other weight class does. The fight starts. Rainer de Ritter gets a takedown, or I don't even exactly remember. The striking was close. The synopsis of the fight is Rainer de Ritter gets takedowns and instantly gets on bottom. He just instantly gives up bottom position and just is like, I guess I'm here for the rest of the fight. I guess I'm here for the rest of the fight, dude. What was I watching? The first round was pretty dominant for Reinier de Ridder, if I'm not mistaken. Second round, Brendan Allen wins. I was like, okay, this is kind of exactly what I said. I said, first round, de Ridder's going to be faster, a little bit better at the grappling. Second round, Allen's going to come back and just kind of edge it out, like on scrambling. And then the third round comes along, and the same exact thing happens. The fourth round comes along, the same. Round 2, 3, and 4, I did not see a difference in anything happening. It was just the same thing, but Reinier de Ridder just gave up bottom position faster and faster each time. That's like really the only difference. I was so confused what happened. I thought there was like a doctor came in or something and there was confusion. I thought it was like the Johnny Walker where they were like, where are you? And he's like, in a desert. And I thought it was like Reinier de Ridder joking. And then I just realized, no, this dude just literally was like, no, I'm not going to continue. I don't know. I need to rewatch this, the ending of the fourth round. I don't know what happened to Reinier de Ridder to make him quit. There was almost nothing going on from my view of the fight. Maybe it was just because I was just watching grappling, but I mean, Reinier de Ridder was kind of getting, like, not beat up, but he was getting, like, dominated, so I guess but he wasn't really getting beat up. That's the thing. That's like if Dricus just quit after the second round from Chimaev. He was just like, I guess there's no way out. I don't want to fight anymore. What? I don't think we've ever seen that from this high level of competition. Just sitting on the stool, just being like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Nah, this fight doesn't interest me anymore. I'm just going to sit on the stool for the rest of the... I'm just going to sit on the stool and the fight's over. You know. The point I was trying to make about Drew Dober versus Kyle Prepolek, Amin Zahabi versus Chito Vera should have been the same fight. Kyle Prepolek and Amin Zahabi had nothing on the feet to hurt their opponent. They were landing more strikes, if I'm not mistaken. But they couldn't hurt their opponent. Except Chito Vera did look scared against Amin Zahabi in the last minute of the second round. The face when Amin Zahabi's just like just throwing the worst combos you've ever seen, and the highest mixed martial arts, the worst combinations you've ever seen. Cheeto did look scared there, but I don't think Amin Zahabi had the power to put Cheeto out, bro. All right, that's my main point. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Crazy card, great commentary by the boys. Hopefully I could get on the next one, you know what I'm saying? Peace.